Every time you think you're out on this team pulls you right back in. Illini win in Nashville. Let's go.
You are Locked On Illini, your daily podcast on the Illinois Fighting Illini. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome all to another edition of Locked On Illini. Thank y'all so much for making us your first listen each and every day, including the weekends. And thank you so much for making the Locked On Podcast Network the #1 network in the entire world. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. My name is Sonny Verma, your host here at Locked On, where we continue to provide you coverage each and every day, even on the weekends, even after a victory like that. And what a victory that was, right? Every time I got on here, 6 days ago, talking about how frustrating this team can be, how frustrating the coaching can be. And then you watch that first half where, at least in my opinion, you feel free to have your own, but Illinois looked like the stronger team. But they just kept being out-rebounded over and over again, to the point where a lot of Illini fans, hand up, and me included, were questioning the toughness of this basketball team. Talking about how soft that they looked. I don't recall what the first half, the rebounding split was. I'll try to look for it as I go on with the show. But this was one of those games where I said, going into halftime, we were the better team that first half, and we're down 2 points. That's not a good sign. And then adjustments were made. And then what I've been calling out last week came through. Brad Underwood, that coaching staff, basically, I don't know what the halftime speech was. I clearly don't. In case you guys didn't watch the game, I should mention this. Illinois 75, Tennessee 62. Just a really solid all-around effort. Look at me. I don't have the words at this point. I'm so surprised at how dominant this team looked in the second half. Tennessee is a top 15 team. Tennessee got to play in Nashville in front of 60% of their home crowd. By the way, shout out to those of you who made it to Nashville, if you're a part of the orange and blue, because the Illini presence was there. You could hear it. But the same way you lost that home game to Alabama at the United Center, you went into Tennessee and beat a very solid Tennessee team. And you don't take that for granted. Not just beat them. You won by 13 points. And if you didn't play so poorly in that first half when it comes to giving Tennessee second and third opportunities, this could have been a 20-point blowout. Am I right or am I wrong? By the way, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you get me some W's in that chat, because this is what it's all about. I'm tired of coming on here after these live post games being in a bummer mood. You get a swig of water. Sorry. The team shot 48% from the field, 11 of 28 from three-point land. Didn't shoot a free throw in the entire first quarter, which didn't make any sense because it looked like the Royal Rumble was going on. But I had two keys to the game. Those of you who watched the preview can vouch for this. And look, I get these wrong all the time. But one guy who I think I mentioned, which I didn't see any of the other Illini folks mention, was Keaton Wagler. I mentioned that Keaton's game could be huge in this battle against Tennessee, because I knew he was a freshman, and I know the way Tennessee plays defense, they're going to try to rattle Keaton Wagler. They did not do a very good job of rattling Keaton Wagler. I'm going to talk more about him, and let me know your MVPs of the game. I think it's between Keaton, Tommy, and he's not MVP worthy, but give it up for Ben Humrichous. I don't care what his box score looks like. His box score does not matter to me. He was key to that victory today. And he shows you why he plays such an important role, whether those three-point shots go in or not. But most credit today goes to that coaching staff. They were prepared today. I'm not saying every day, but today the game plan is in the second half. Ament was fighting for his life anytime, no matter who was guarding him. Well, they put Ament on Tommy. Tommy feasted. Is Ament guarding Davin Mirkovic? Mirk is going to feast. Even Kylan Boswell was taking him to the rim. That's recognizing a weakness and attacking it. In that first half, we looked soft. We were soft. We didn't look soft. We were soft. But whatever yelling happened at halftime, whatever conversations happened at half, it worked. Because in the second half, that was an entirely different team. That's the team that, this is why we get frustrated. Because, right? Tell me if I'm right or wrong. We are frustrated because we know that is the type of basketball this team is capable of playing. And that wasn't even A-plus basketball. That was, we had what, maybe a B-plus game? A B-plus game beat number 13 Tennessee at their home stadium, essentially. I know it's not technically their home stadium, in their home state. And that's what drives us nuts. That's why 1 week I'm saying this team has Final Four Elite Eight potential. And the next game, 6 days later, I'm saying another first round exit, or sorry, maybe first weekend exit. I still can't figure this team out. But they're so incredibly, like, you see the skill level. And you do wish maybe there's more of an enforcer out there. But I have a theory on that too. I think Mirk right now, his confidence on the offensive end is as low as it's going to be all season long. And note, I'm not saying he had a bad game, because I don't think he did. But I think 2 or 3 of his shots went halfway inside the basket and fell out. Overall, finished with just 10 points, 4 of 9 shooting. But in that second half, he battled for rebounds. Ben Humrichous battled for rebounds. How many times did you guys notice? We were talking about it in the Talk Illini Discord. By the way, if you weren't in the Talk Illini Discord today, shame on you. You missed one heck of a conversation that was going on. The link is in the description. The link is always in the description. But Ben Humrichous, again, he's the guy that folks always talk about, 0-0s. He's here to shoot 3-pointers. He's not here to shoot just 3-pointers anymore. Maybe that's what was his role last year. Today, I counted one for sure. I'm sure it's happened multiple times where Tennessee would grab an offensive rebound and all of a sudden you would see Brad turn around, yell at the bench, Ben Humrichous, get up off the bench and head to the scorer's table. Why is that? Because he's playing winning basketball. How many block shots did he have today? 3 block shots. Ben Humrichous, Ben Hizzy had 3 blocked shots today. 5 rebounds. But some people are just going to notice that he didn't take a shot from the field. Didn't matter. Wasn't needed today. Ben did the important things, and I would argue, again, he wasn't the best player on the court. He wasn't the second best player on the court. But what he did was as important as what anyone else on the court did today. Tell me if you agree with me or if you don't agree with me. Ben impacted this game almost as much as anybody without taking a single shot from the field today. And this is a guy who people love to pick on, which I don't understand. Last year, I understand. He was starting. He was playing 25, 30 minutes a day, and you'd see Morez on the bench. You'd see Trey White on the bench. That's not the case this year. Some people are carrying over those feelings for some reason. All right, let's get to an ad break. I want to get to some of your guys' thoughts, and I really want to talk about some of these players. NFL Sundays move fast. One big play and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift, receiver gets hot, a defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after a turnover. FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly. Player props update as guys heat up. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, so can you. That was an awful ad read. My apologies. I'm just excited, just like you guys are. We have 154 people in here. Amped up, right? How many of you wish you could be in Nashville right now? I'm regretting not being down there. But again, this is the type of team that just, it's when they, let's start with Keaton Wagler. I want to give him, in my opinion, it's between Keaton and Tommy for your MVP. You guys let me know in the chat. Tomislav was 16 points on 7 of 13 from the field. Was that right? 31 minutes. So one of our frustrations all season long is that we know Tommy can be Tommy. Tommy, when he's at his peak powers, is arguably the best center in the Big Ten Conference, potentially an All-American in the country. But he has been playing to his abilities, and we knew why. He was hindered. It was conditioning. It was this or that. It was a nagging injury. Today was the first glimpse of what we all want to see from Tomislav Ivisic. Today we got an idea of why we were so frustrated with his performance. He did okay against UConn, but the games prior to that as well, against Alabama. Because we know when Tommy's at his peak powers, he's one of the best centers in the country. You can run your offense through him. How many times did we just dump the ball down low and Tommy did work? And if Tommy couldn't find a bucket, which he more than often did, shot 7 of 13 today, he passed it off and made the right play. And what I was talking about earlier, my key player to this game was Keaton Wagler. I said in my preview, if you guys watched it on Friday, that if Keaton plays like he played early in the year, and he's played like most games this season, poised, that Tennessee didn't have a guy to answer for him. And Keaton, I would argue, had his best game this year this year. He may have had better stats in other games, but today, Keaton, in 34 minutes, he played more minutes than anybody. Shot 5 for 13, 4 for 11 from three-point land, 2 for 2 from free throws, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. 16, 8, and 5 was his box score line. If Keaton plays like that, this team is really hard to beat because you know what you're going to get from Kylan Boswell. Kylan was hurt, but in 36 minutes, he had 15 points, 6 of 11 from the field, only 3 of 6 from the free throw line, which you want something better. But when you have Boswell and Keaton playing like that, that's just a tough matchup for anybody in the country. And then you have Tommy playing the way he did today. This was a B-plus game, and you beat Tennessee in Tennessee by 13 points. Like, I would have loved to see this version of Illinois 6 days ago against UConn, and that's the frustration of this basketball team. That's why, I know Illini fans, and I tease you guys all about it, whether, it's on social media or in the Discord or whatnot. Like, it's a very rabid fan base, and no matter what, even if you only saw the transcript of this Discord, you would have thought Illinois lost by 15 points today. But this happens a lot. Illini can't do this. This guy stinks. They can't do that. Check the final box score. Illinois wins by 7. But today is just like this version of this team I'm not giving up on because I know when David, who I still think isn't close to hitting he's hitting his wall early right now. Because he's doing a lot of things right on the court. But the shots aren't falling. 10 points today, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a block. These are his floor games that he's having. I genuinely, and call me out on it if I'm wrong when the Big Ten season hits. I think the more playtime he gets against his top competition, he's going to get more settled in. He might have the season Will Riley had last year. Remember how Will Riley had like an insane first 2 games and then he just kind of trailed off? Except for David's not trailing off. David's still playing as a very solid contributor. But I think David still, by the end of the year, might be our best player. And when that happens, and Tommy's playing the way he played today, Keaton's playing the way he is, and then you still have guys like Andrei Stojakovic, right? Like guys who are just supremely talented. Like Andrei is interesting. I don't know what to, people got mad at me earlier in the year when he had the fantastic game against Texas Tech that he did. People got mad at me because, I said, he's very, very good, but I don't know what kind of fit he is on this basketball team. I still kind of believe that. Like, clearly he's a very talented basketball player, but sometimes this team is rolling better when they're just moving the ball around, and he is not a guy who moves the ball around. But what Andres does, nobody else on this team, maybe outside Wagler, can do. And Wagler's still a freshman. Andres can attack the rim, put up a shot that you think has no chance of going in, but it goes in and is demoralizing for the defense. It happened, I think, twice today against Tennessee, where he would just bank it and the shot ended up going in. You see his defender put their hands up as they walk back. Andres can do that. So that's why, it's why Brad Underwood gets paid so much money. He's got to figure out, is Andres the leading scorer on this basketball team? Or is he a guy that comes in, puts in 10 to 12 points, maybe minimize his minutes, not minimize, but lessen them a little bit, because I just think the team flows better through Tommy and through Kylan. Let Kylan and Tommy figure out the offense and let Andres wedge himself in and figure out what role he plays. But even then, I'm talking about Andrei Stojakovic, a guy who averaged 18 points a game last year in the ACC, as being like a contributor to this basketball team. This team is really good, guys. Do not give up on this basketball team. I know you lost to Alabama and you lost to UConn, but that UConn loss really, again, I rewatched that game. The game plan, the execution wasn't there, and the coaching staff simply didn't adjust. And you know what? We're used to that in these sort of games. Against Tennessee, Rick Barnes, at halftime, I was literally screaming, stop scheduling Tennessee putting them on your schedule. Because we lose to them every single time. Rick Barnes is one heck of a coach. But he got outcoached in that second half today. Illinois exploited. And when they needed to, they made the three-point shots. Today, 11 of 28, shooting almost 40% from the field. B-plus game. Am I wrong? Would you give it, let me know in the comment section what grade you would give this performance today. They were the better team today, but that doesn't mean that they were playing a great game. Now, does that mean Tennessee, coming off of those two losses, or their losses, that maybe they're struggling a little bit? Maybe. But on a night or on a day where the Big Ten Conference put up a stinker, Purdue got waxed by Iowa State this morning. Michigan State lost to Duke in a game that they should have won, in my opinion, if you watched that one earlier today. It was Illinois who stood ground, who defended the Big Ten Conference. And it's funny because out of those three games, most people would probably put up their confidence factor the least on Illinois. But I hope, if anything, today's taught you that, you're going to have your ups and downs. It's not going to be like last year, guys. I promise you. This team is better than last year's. I truly believe that, 100% confident. I just don't know if they're going to get rolling for another couple weeks. They might, you know what? No, I'm going to correct myself. It might start now. Now that Tommy's healthy, Tommy's good to go, he is the engine that runs this offense. I said this all offseason long. He was our MVP last year. And for what Brad and Tyler Underwood want to do with our offense, Tommy is the perfect center for that. And, I'm saying just last week, watching what he was contributing on the court, that maybe we should give Big Z more minutes. But I was very clear until Tommy gets healthy. Today, Tommy looked healthy. And if Tommy's healthy, then maybe now's the time that this team starts to make their run. We have Missouri. We have Ohio State coming up, I believe, on Tuesday. Then we have Nebraska next Saturday. Big Ten season is upon us, guys. Maybe, just maybe, this team is getting on a roll right in the nick of time. The holidays are officially here, which means gift hunting season is on. And if you want something meaningful, personal, and guaranteed to get a reaction, Aura Frames is the gift that delivers every time. It's not just something you wrap, it's a way to share memories. Because Aura isn't your average picture frame. You can preload the frame with photos before gifting it. So when they plug it in, the memories are already there. No apps to figure out, no setup headaches, just instant smiles. As I told you, I already got one for my kid's grandmom because she's got grandkids all are spread across all the country. It's going to be a way for her to never miss a moment of her grandkids. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code COLLEGE at checkout. That's AURAFrames.com, promo code COLLEGE. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast. So order yours now. Get in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. All right, let's get to your comments now. We got over 140 people in here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, this is why, as I said earlier, the therapy sessions are annoying, right? The live post game, we all get together. A lot of us watch this game alone. And so it's nice just to get in a community where you can discuss what you saw with other Illini fans. And a lot of times we're angry. It's annoying, especially because we know how good this team can be. But today, we get to celebrate a little bit. 24 hours, say whatever you want in the comment section. No one holds you to it. If you think we're going to win the national championship, let me know right now. Ken, good friend of the show, says go Illini. I think some of these were early. Ken also says poor free throw shooting, especially at the end of the game. Yeah, I mean, that was just that was a struggle. Global says Ben led by example tonight, hustled his butt off. Exactly right. Ben is, again, can I call him the MVP? He wasn't the best player, but I think you phrased it perfectly. He led by example. Tom says 11 rebounds in the first half does not seem possible for these guys. I know, and that's why, I'm battling, folks. Other Illini fans are telling me this team is a weak rebounding team, that they're soft and all that. It's like, you can have a bad rebounding game, and that's what this was. Or a bad rebounding half. That first half, clearly not your best product. It doesn't mean you're overall a bad rebounding team. Come on, guys. Show some love to Sonny, y'all. Hit the like button. Yes, please, if you don't mind. Chuck says, Brad on Illini radio postgame said Ben was probably the player of the game. 100%. And I'm telling you, you saw it every time you saw an offensive rebound by Tennessee. Brad would turn around, get Ben's butt off the bench to get him in that game. And Tiny says, moved up to 12 on Ken Palm. Very nice. Jason says, Ben is the most hated the last 2 years, him and KJ. I don't care, but Ben is different this year, and we need that off the bench. He will not start all year, but he's huge off the bench. That's what I'm saying. Just have normal expectations for Ben Humrichous. He's your seventh guy. As long as you come in with those expectations, there's nothing to be mad about. Global says, all I can say, and I hope you can agree with me, is not a fan of Jelly Roll. Most unprofessional broadcast booth ever seen in my life. Look, I love Jelly Roll, but that was nonsense. I'm a big fan of his music, but another guy, I don't know if this is blasphemous to say, but I don't need to hear Carl Ravitch announce another Illini game either. I mean, I grew up watching him announcing baseball games, and I was fine with it, but I don't need any of that. I'm sorry. Again, cough is still here. It's been 2 weeks now, but, it is what it is. Phil says, it was awesome to see the Twins be able to celebrate together. That's one of the cool moments. I completely agree with you. Tommy was at the scores table when Z made his second three-pointer, and then they just kind of celebrated together, and Brad called Tommy back to sit down. Let his brother enjoy the moment. Wagler has to be in the running for Big Ten Player of the Year. Maybe not Player of the Year, but certainly he's going to be battling the Washington kid and probably his own teammate for Freshman of the Year. Again, I really think that W is going to have a huge, and I'm not being shy about it. I'm saying huge. Because I'm watching David, right? He's my favorite player on this team. And again, his box score looks okay. 30 minutes, 10 points, 4 of 9 from the field. But he's so close, guys. He's so incredibly close. Ralph said, Illini had a bad game, poor rebounding, poor free throws. Why was Humrichous playing? Dear wolf. See what I mean when it comes to Illini fans? I don't know what to say. Free D says, love your passion, Sonny. It's not me. This is the Illini fan base. This is why I love doing my job. Is because when we lose, you guys are angry. But when we win, you guys are happy. You know, there's a lot of fan bases out there after every game. Look, I promise this is not a brag, but watch other Locked On shows. And when they go in their live post games, there's like 20, 30 people on. It's not even, I'm not trying to be mean, but other post game shows will have 30, 40 people on. I can have 200 on here. By the end of last year, we had 500, 600 people on these live post games immediately after the show. It's this community. It's one of those where we watch the games together and then we all get to talk about it together. SI Sportsman said, this is a heavily talented team. Things are just now starting to click. It's only getting better. We might be there. As I said, once Tommy's ready, I think this team can start taking off. And today was a glimpse to me that Tommy might be ready. B game, B plus, B. Yeah, it looks like most of you guys pretty much agree with me. Nolan says this was a B game overall, C in the first half. See, honestly, the first half I don't think was that bad. It was a B minus, a B. The problem is they just could not rebound the ball. They shot fine. I think they shot 52% in that first half. They shot better in that first half than that second half, if you want to believe me or not. But the lack of physicality of Tennessee just out-hustling you was so frustrating because at halftime, Illinois should have been up 6 to 10 points. Freen D says, I give them A+ for winning a game where they couldn't grab rebounds. Fair enough. Those threes were quality shots because we were running on offense and moving the ball around. That's right. I mean, we still ended up with 28 3-pointers, which actually surprises me a little bit because I didn't feel like we shot a lot of 3-pointers. But again, it's different when you shoot and make 40% of them. And of course, as I talk about all the time, Illinois shoots only 57% from free throw line. Can we get one game this year where we hit our free throws and our 3-point shots? We might score 110 points that game. All right, guys, you can hear my voice. My voice is shot. Please hit the like button on your way out. I got to do a Talk Illini right after this. So if you want me to go a little bit longer, do a search for Talk Illini on YouTube. I'm going to be doing that show right after this. Until next time, I love you guys all. Yeah, more content for you. We're going to be talking about where Illinois is going to be going to for a bowl game, which might be a familiar destination for where they play tonight. All right, until next time, ILL. Love you guys.